In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to deploy a backend project on GitHub using GitHub Actions. If you find this useful, consider subscribing and liking the video. Now, let's dive right in. First and foremost, deploying with GitHub Actions allows us to manage deployments effectively using different environments and rules. Before we get started, you should have a basic understanding of the syntax for GitHub Actions. There's plenty of resources available if you need to brush up on that. So how do we trigger a deployment? You can use various events to kick off your deployment workflow, including pull requests, pushes, or even manual triggers. For instance, if you set up your workflow to listen for a push to the main branch, it will automatically run every time there's an update there. Similarly, it will react whenever a pull request targeting the main branch is opened, synchronized, or even reopened. Here's a simple example of how you can configure that in the workflow file. Next up, let's talk about environments. Environments are crucial as they represent different stages of your deployment process, like production or staging. When you create an environment for your workflow, it will appear on your repository's main page. This visibility is helpful because you can set approvals for jobs before they proceed or control which branches can trigger a deployment. Additionally, you can secure access to sensitive information like API keys by linking them to specific environments. When you reference an environment in your workflow, the job won't start until all protection rules for that environment are satisfied. For example, if you only want certain branches to have access to particular secrets, environments allow you to enforce that. Now, how about using concurrency? This feature ensures only one job or workflow in the same group runs at once. It can be quite handy if you want to limit a specific environment to have one deployment in progress at any time. Making use of concurrency effectively prevents multiple deployments from happening simultaneously, which can save you from a lot of headaches. You might also wonder about environments without deployments. By default, a workflow creates a deployment object whenever it references an environment. If you want to skip creating that deployment record, you can configure the deployment setting to false. This way, you can organize your secrets under environment names without cluttering your deployment history. Let's touch on the protection rules in relation to deployments. When you set a specific protection rule, it can dictate the behavior of a job depending on whether deployment is set to true or false. For example, required reviews will still apply even if deployment tracking is turned off, ensuring layers of control over your deployments. So now you know about tracking deployments and the importance of real-time monitoring. You can visualize each run with a graph that can help debug if things go awry. Besides, you will have access to logs and a history of previous runs, which can be invaluable for troubleshooting. Finally, let's not forget about tracking through integrations. If your GitHub account is linked with services like Microsoft Teams or Slack, you can stay updated on your deployment statuses through notifications. It's a fantastic way to monitor the progress without constantly checking your GitHub dashboard. Choosing the right runner is also vital. You can utilize GitHub-hosted runners, or for more control, set up your own self-hosted runners, especially if you're working in a restricted network. That's a wrap on deploying a backend project on GitHub using GitHub Actions. I hope you